you may have noticed that we are going to do the video Sweet Dreams. It's going to be pretty awesome. It was actually the only video anybody emailed me. So, and it's a good video. It's got lots of cool stuff going on. So this is called a time stop. Okay. What I've done is I've made a list with the help of Kenny Zhang in D period. He helped me assign you guys times, so you each have 6 seconds. This is the time stop or the playhead in my video player, so yours will look different because this is QuickTime, which is actually what I'm using to make this video. This is the playhead in YouTube. You guys have seen it before, and you see this is the timestamp of the video, and this is the timestamp that you will use, not this, because this is tied to your application. This is tied to the actual video. So this is the one that won't change for everybody once they get it into Photoshop. That'll make a little bit more sense once I sort of explain some things, okay? So these are the timestamps that all of you guys will be working with. There are 8 students that have 5 seconds, and all the other students have 6 seconds. Don't freak out. It's not a big deal. It just happens so that we could all fit them in there. But I didn't want somebody to point it out and be all, crazy rebellious on me, because I know how you guys can be. Anyway, so I'm going to pretend like I'm Nick Brando. I'm going to get seconds 12 through 17, and I'm going to show you guys how to do that. Also, my version of Photoshop looks a little bit different. Notice it's CC. It's just a newer version. You guys have version 5, CS5. So get into Photoshop. Get to where you can open up a file. You can open up a file if you want to, but the way that you get the video into Photoshop is like this. So you're going to say File, and instead of Open, you can't just click the video and do this. You have to do it this way. If you don't do it this way, it's not going to work, so you need to follow along. You go to Import, and then Video Frames to Layers. Okay, and what that's going to do is it's going to pop up a little window, and it's going to say, what file would you like to get? Now there again, this is my personal computer, so it looks a little different. It's a Mac. You will have downloaded the video from either eBackpack or the class website, whichever place you're finding this content. I'll let you know, or I'll let your sub know where it's going to be. It'll likely be in both places. So you will have downloaded the video. It's just DD1's Sweet Dreams. So if it's in downloads, look there. There it is. I'm going to get it. Now you're just going to need a portion of this. So you're just selecting the file. And it may take you some time to download it, so I would go ahead and do that now. Pause the video if you need to go get the file. I would also download this little timestamp video too, or this timestamp text edit file. It's going to probably open in Notepad or something, maybe Microsoft Word, but you'll need that as well. Anywho, so get the file, open it up. It's going to open up another dialog box. This is important. You do not want to open or import all of the frames because you're only going to be doing a portion of it. So you're going to choose this selected range. There again, this window will look different on your computer. You're going to find the same thing that corresponds to downloading a portion of the video and not the whole video. Okay. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to move this. I'm going to move it up until right on my little screen here, this little playhead. Notice as I move it around, it changes. This playhead corresponds to this playhead. I want second 11 because Nick Brando is going to be doing 12 to 17. He's going to do all of second 17. So what I want to do is bookend his portion with about a 1 second buffer. I can delete those frames once I get them into Photoshop. Okay, so I'm going to get, this is 13. I'm going to move this back. I'm going to move this, and it's going to, until it says 11 right there. So I'm going to get, oh man, that is tough. 11. 11. Okay, it wants to say 6. Anyway, don't spend too much time on this. Try to get it as close to 11 as you can. Here we go. We're going to go to and it wants to go back to 6. That's the problem. It's because it's not showing exactly where it is. Okay, so try to get it as close as possible. Here's the playhead. It says 11. That's what I want. I'm going to move that back there, so I'm getting all of this. And then I want to move this to about 18. I could do 19. That's fine. I feel pretty good about that. I need this 6-second section, so I'm going to say OK. Nope. I want to make sure that I limit this because I don't want a ton of frames. This is 30 frames a second. I only want about every 5 frames. Okay, it's going to come in. It's going to be a little wacky, but just do this. Limit to every 5 frames. That's going to give you about 6 frames a second. That'll cut down your work in the end. So I'm going to say OK. Also, this make frame animation, go ahead and keep that. I'll tell you why once it happens. So you're going to click OK. Your computer's going to do some work. Hopefully it goes faster than my computer. Okay, there it is. And now I can see all of my layers. I've got 101 layers. But the thing is, this frame is 119. And I'm actually not going to be animating this. And notice 94 corresponds to layer 10. There we go. Yeah. Frame 101 corresponds to layer 101. So I guess there's... so this is 19. So what I need to do is go back through. I'm going to skip some 18. I'm going to find right where it changes from 17 to 18. I'm going to delete this frame. So I need 17 because I'm animating all of that second. So I'm going to delete 84 all the way to 100. Okay, I'm just going to drag it to the trash. Ding. Just like that. I'm also going to go here and I'm going to delete layer 101 to 84. So I'm going to hold shift again, get all these layers, drag them to the trash. Don't need them. And then I'm going to go back here and get frame 1. There we go. And I'm looking for where 11 changes to 12 because I have to animate all of second 12. I can't just do a portion of it. So that's kind of funny. It's actually frame 12. So I'm going to get this. I'm going to delete these. So 1 through 11. I'm going to go down to the bottom. I'm going to get layer 1 through 11. And I'm going to throw those puppies away. Okay, so now I have an animation. I have my animation. So this is her singing. Notice it may or may not be 5 seconds. This is taking a pretty long time. 2, 3, 4. So this doesn't work perfectly, but that's okay. Stop the animation. Here's this. I'm going to go to here. And so I've selected all these. I can change this to play with no delay. And then I'm going to play it again and see if that's a little better. That's okay. Don't worry too much about this right now. It's going to work. So now I have, let's see, I've got 72 frames. I've got 72 frames, and I should have 72 layers. It's a little jumbled up, like this is layer 83 and this is layer 12, but that's totally fine. We can start doing our animation now. So each of these layers I need to adjust or copy or cut parts out of. So that's how you get the video into Photoshop. The next thing you may want to do is start cutting pieces away or looking for content that you can then use for your video. So I'm going to shift away from this and I'm going to show you a file where I've already made an animation. So let's go ahead and save this. It's going to take a while. It's going to be a big file, so let's just call it in Brando ANI. Okay. And I'm actually going to show my time stop here, my timestamp. So I'm going to say space 12 space 17. Okay, that way I know what portion of this thing I'm doing. I'm going to save it to the desktop so I can find it. You're going to want to save it to your network drive. Cool. And then I'm going to close this, and I'm going to go to File, Open. And I'm going to open previous projects. Nope. Okay, so this is my animation from last year. I hope it's finished. Cool. And it's about 56 frames. We were only doing 5 seconds, so you guys are doing slightly more. That's totally fine. We've got plenty of time. So what I had to do, you'll notice that I've got lots of layers over here. I've also grouped them off. So this is my dance section, dance Lego. That's actually the end section. That's this part right here. So let's go ahead and I'm going to play you my video. So this is it. I had to sync it up so that parts of it. And you can see I tried different things. Okay. So some of them I exported all these frames to my iPhone. I ran them through an application that pixelates them in a particular way. I re-imported them and then I uploaded it. So now I've got like this. I've got this dancing Lego person, right? So that's kind of neat. This part, what I did was I cut this guy out. I did a filter on him. So each frame, I cut him out of each frame. I then added lots and lots of stripes to him each time. So he's here. Where is he? Small drawing dance. Here's this. I've also got things labeled, hopefully. Nope. Let's see, mouth. Let's see where this is. I wonder what that is. Torso sparkle. Nope. Nope. That's the mouth. Torso sparkle. That's it. I wonder why I called it torso sparkle. That's a little strange. But anyway, here's my piece. Here's this. So I essentially, you guys can see I use the polygon lasso tool to cut this guy out. So I use the frame that's here. Okay, polygon lasso tool. I added a frame. I added a filter. I did filter gallery cutout. Okay, I did filter gallery cutout, and then I was faced with something like this, just this guy, and then I just added some outlines, and I did that, 10 or 12, 13 times. So I just added a bunch of outlines, and I increased the size of the outline. So it ended up looking pretty good. It's a really tedious way to do something kind of interesting. And it's playing okay. Cool. So in this cookie thing, I just cut out his mouth and I added some little Google eyes. I'm a fan of that. So you guys can do whatever you want. You can also just cut him out and put him in a random place, leave the video. So that's kind of fun. People do that. Some people do like a sketch. So each frame you sort of actually draw over top of each frame. You'll need to do that. So let's look at how that looks. Let's see, drawing. Here it is. So notice I made a new layer, right? So I've got to keep this up, and then I do a doodle. I make a new layer, on top of this layer 42. I make a drawing that corresponds to layer 42, and then I turn off this underground thing, or the background, right? And I do that for every layer. That's the thing, is you have to edit each and every frame. You can cut away the original image, but I kind of like to keep the original stuff just in case I mess up or need a reference. But notice I got rid of the playhead, I got rid of Vivo, and I kind of expanded the drawing. So that's one thing you could do. And then this is the thing that I did with my phone. I exported the video, or I exported the frames from the video. So I saved each of these as a JPEG. This is kind of tedious, but it actually doesn't take that long. It's like 18 frames. So I have 18 pictures. I put them on my phone. I used an app on my phone to edit them, so I could do like, Instagram filter, or if I wanted to glitch them or turn them into Legos, which is what happened here. I did that individually for each frame. I re-imported them back onto my computer, and then I put them individually back into Photoshop. So here's the dance Lego. Here are those frames, and they look like this, right? And then I also have the original dance frames from the video. So that's here. So I'm going to turn that off, turn this on. So they look like this, right? So these are the images, layer 63 through whatever, 44. Those are the images that I saved individually as JPEGs. And then I exported them onto my phone, back into the application, and then put them here. So come up with different ways to animate the video. It should be a lot of fun. If you need help, rewatch the first portion of this video, and I'll see you tomorrow.